Hi, hello, how are you? My name is Anna and welcome back to my channel. Have you ever wanted to turn your plastic keyboard into a bespoke, chiseled marble masterpiece? Well, today I'm showing you an easy way to turn any keyboard into a real marble keyboard. Let's do this. So this is the keyboard I'm using for this project. I will have this link down in the video description down below. This is it's about 11 inches, just a little bit over, so it perfectly fits in a 12-inch tile for this particular project with the edging. I got this from Amazon. This is a light-up gaming keyboard. I'll show you guys on the back the information here. So for this particular model, the screws are inside. Lift this off. So then I'm left with this. Now I need to unhouse this with the cable. Alright, so now we're seeing this underneath here, and this is what we have to remove. So I'm going to try and get to it from here. And this, it looks like we're gonna have to pop this up. It's holding it in as a kind of a, whatever it's called, a lock. Excellent. So then here we have it. We have all of our components unhoused. I'm trying to keep these as in order as they were, but we have everything ready to then be moved over to the other shell rather, of the keyboard. I have worked on the main part of this, which I glued. This is a 4 by 12 inch tile. This adds on about a half an inch-ish, but I really needed about 5 inches, so there's going to be a slight bit of overhang here. But this is going to be the bottom side, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to reuse these little footers that you see on the back of this injection molded plate, just so I can keep this from sliding. I'm actually doing the shiny side out for this because if you flip it over, I want it to look kind of nice, despite having to have this little bit of mending done here, which might be slipping a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I started peeling these off, and I'm going to adhere them with some of... Where did it go? With some of this E6000 so that this has some grip and it's not going to scoot around a desk or anything without a like a desk pad or anything like that. So this will solve that problem with or without a desk pad. I'll pop these off. Perfect. Now we're going to let this dry. So I elected to make two game time decisions. One, because this was a 4x12 tile and I already had added this, it's called like a pencil or a Somerset to the top. I decided to go ahead and add one to the bottom to prevent the little bit of overhang. So I'm going to have a rounded edge here on the bottom. And this is, again, the bottom side of this keyboard. But in the original backing or the casing to this, there is some support and elevation. Now, what I was originally going to do was just use these extra pieces of this Somerset pencil to support it, but I found out that I had an extra 3x6 tile, and when I tested it out and laid it on, it was actually a really great support for this keyboard. So the game time decision I made, instead of using the few of these that I cut, which, by the way, I cut these to size with an angle grinder, which I got at Harbor Freight for around, like, I think I got the angle grinder for $14, and I got the actual grinding disc for about $5. So about $20. I'm not going to use all of these, so I'm only just going to use these for the size like I was planning on, and maybe one extra one to support. But this tile, this was only $2 when I was buying these. These were for like an actual house project. And as you can see, I kind of messed up here. So this is a perfect tile for this. So instead of having these smaller supports, I'm going to have one big support, and then I'm going to have this piece here, which is going to be snug in between probably one of these. And I'll show you guys that in a minute. While that is drying, I'm going to explain these next couple of pieces. These are the same sort of pencils, and these are going to be framing the keyboard itself along the outside and giving us a nice round edge to rest our hands or our fingers or whatever we're working on. So this is what's going to be the bottom edge. I'm actually just adhering these. You can get a special marble glue to adhere these, but since I'm doing that kind of honed or rough side, I'm going rough side to rough side, I'm just going to use the E6000 because that usually does the trick for me when I'm just doing like little projects like this. And then I had a couple of these that I just cut down to size, and these are about like 4.5 inches. A little more, a little less, because I don't know if you guys can see it. The ends aren't perfect. Like the end on this one's obviously fine, but like these are the ends that I cut, and they're not perfect. But it's pretty darn close. So that's why I'm saying about 4.5 roughly. And then this one I have a slight little hairline, so I just taped it so it didn't break. But this is the back side where this part is going to feed through. And all I did was angle grind a little kind of sway back here. Looks like a little crevasse or like a little hammock or something. Just enough so that I can put this piece flush with it. This piece went into the keyboard itself, and I'm electing to not do that. So now that I have this glued on and it's dried, I'm going to go ahead and map these supports out. And again, I decided, game time decision, that I'm going to use this 3x6 tile to support this keyboard. So I'm just going to mark, actually, I'm just going to use this. Where these are going to go, more importantly, where this is. And this is not going to be entirely even, but this is just to support our keyboard. All right, and I'm just going to mark that side, and then I'm going to go ahead and glue these two pieces down so I can put that right back in there. Now that I got these set, these are hard and ready to go, I'm going to go ahead and do this piece. Once this goes in, I'm actually not going to be able to take either of these out. So I'm going to hope that that's what I need to do. And then I'm a little bit worried about this hairline crack. I just took the tape off of it, so I'm hoping I'm not going to be too rough on the equipment here and be able to put these in. And I haven't fixed the edges yet. As you can see, there's some staining there. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the back because this is the most important part for me, just to get that put in place, and I will let it dry and I will come back. Okay, so now that I got this dried, I'm going to go ahead and do these side pieces here, and those will be the framing for the keyboard. So I fit the piece that you guys saw that's like the plastic sheeting really snug in here, and I've now set this on top. This is not fixed, but I want to see if it's going to work. So I have my little USB end here. Oh, and it does. Oh, I'm so excited about this. All right, so I'm gonna try to delicately kind of center this, but this was actually a really good solution. I didn't actually have to use a screw for this, so it's probably not gonna ship well, but all I had to do was when I measured the space between here and here, I just moved this piece over a little bit, and this is fitting this, this in like perfectly. So I'm glad it still works. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on. And then I will update you guys once it's dry. Okay, so finally my pièce de la résistance I have here. This is this one that we just glued in, and I'm letting it dry, but it still works. It still works. So let's just humor me in here. And just see how this fits on here. Obviously, we're not screwing anything in, because today is not that day. I didn't realize this was going to be a glue-only project, you guys. When I had originally designed it, I had thought of a way to be able to save the... Oh, dude, this is so cool. The only thing I don't love are these like corners, but this is super neat. Okay, let me do a quick putting the keys back on, and I will come back. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, so it's here. It's done. I do have a little bit of gapping or gaping right through here, but overall, this is actually a pretty good first start to creating my own like marble like gaming set. On a scale of like 1 to 10 in terms of difficulty, I would give this like a 4. Only because, and I guess if you are like more proficient with cutting tile, this would be like a 1.5 or a 2, because all it is just like disassembling and reassembling and just making sure everything's glued and everything has like proportional measurements. But honestly, I had a lot of fun doing this. I think this was, and it still has its kind of nice sound to it, like. So I think overall I really like this. I definitely want to refine this, so I will be doing this again at a later date. But overall, I'd give this about a 4 out of 10 in terms of difficulty, 2 out of 10 if you're more familiar with cutting tile or you have your own tools or whatever else. But I definitely think this would be a cool fixture on anyone's like game setup, like gaming setup, or even if it's just like your personal home get up. I know I get tired of plain faux marble, and this is actually real marble. This isn't like some knockoff. It's not porcelain. This was real marble. So overall on this project, I spent about $50 on marble keyboard and angle grinder, you guys. I spent about $20 on the angle grinder. So overall, this is about $30 to do, which is kind of a nice piece to have if you're, you know, someone who likes to have a little bit more of a custom look to their setup. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the description of everything that I have in the comments with links. You guys, these are not affiliate links. I want to be very clear. I'm not doing affiliate links for now. So you guys can just go ahead and you can get something similar. You don't have to get the exact same thing. I wanted a backlit setup. I wanted something similar to this. But if you guys, I mean, this is a smaller keyboard. If you wanted to have the additional number pad, go ahead and do that. I think that's totally worth it. I just was trying to, you know, kind of work within the path of least resistance here by not having to cut a bunch of tile. And this just happened to be a perfect almost 12 inches with the ends. So that's what I decided to do. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am going to go ahead and give you guys this keyboard. Now, it might not ship well, but because you guys have been so awesome and have been following me through my LeetCode journey and my journey kind of just in tech in general, I want to go ahead and give this to one of you guys as a thank you. So if you're interested in this, I'm going to give it away to one of my followers. Drop a comment and we'll do a drawing and we'll let it be at that. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.